Before we get to the nutcracker and the enormity that is Modern Warfare 3, this video is sponsored by old school RuneScape. This is World War 3. No better way to open than with a big all-wide shot of the Earth. The world shattering as glass reflecting shepherd is so great, showing us how fragile the world really is and also confirms what Price says near the end about it only taking one man. The cracking tendrils follow Task Force 141. The world believes them to be the traitors, and that wherever they go, hell will follow. I can always appreciate a sequel that opens mere moments where the previous game left off. It doesn't give us moments to breathe, and is the most natural way to thrust us into the action. Many things live or die off the first impression. Like Price said, gonna need a big boom. Soap's having his life flash before his eyes right now, which puts into context the type of story this trilogy wanted to tell, that being a soldier story. Though there are scenes like No Russian and the London camcorder showing us the effects on innocent civilians during wartime, these games are more like old World War II movies where we follow our boys, excited for them to take down the bad guy, which they completely succeed at in my book.
Charging! 3, 2, 1, clear!
Now that's a title card. I bet Infinity Ward was waiting since 2007 to put this in.
We cannot lose New York. Are there any special mission units in the area we can request?
Well, absolutely. We've got the 75th Rangers, who we served in and saved Washington, D.C. in Modern Warfare 2, and the 2nd Marines, who had Private Miller and co. back in World War II.
This is Sandman. Understand we are OpCon to you. Over.
Glad to have you in our corner, Sandman.
A man with that much classified information, I'm glad to be on his team. Alongside them being picked for this special op with the already stacked field, Modern Warfare has never failed to put us in groups of high renown, which just makes us feel cooler by association. Black Tuesday is in reference to the 1929 stock exchange crash during the Great Depression. Something tells me some Dow Jones numbers are going down after this.
Frost! Frost!
Jeez, can soldiers not in the 141 avoid starting their first mission in a crashed car for 10 minutes? I mean, it was only out of Frost, but let me have this. Talk about scale to open up Modern Warfare 3. There's been a slow build-up from Modern Warfare to now. We've had big open conflicts before, but nothing like these first two opening missions in New York. And at the time, it was so freaking cool to see.
Friendlies! Hold your fire!
Just this little walk-in of friendlies makes the city truly feel entrenched in war. When in the stocks exchange, if you check the stocks, everyone is falling except for the different developers and publishers that work on COD, like Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and David. There is even one called War on the rise. Infinity Ward are some cheeky bastards. Speaking of on the rise, RuneScape is back, babies! Do any of you remember playing RuneScape when you were younger, longing for those good old days like me? Well, now is actually the perfect opportunity. Old school RuneScape is RuneScape as you used to know it, based on a 2007 build of the classic MMORPG. Old school is just that. Surprise, surprise, the old school version of the game that you remember, but it's just not some outdated build that's aged poor. The old school is actually constantly updated with improvements and new content directly voted on by us, the players. And I know you all understand how important a developer keeping a close relationship to its players is, so that's a pretty big win in my book. And if you're worried about getting into or back into it after all this time, thinking you'll be far behind everyone else, you're freaking out over nothing. Right now, old school RuneScape has this new thing called Fresh Start Worlds, and it's a 6-month event that is the perfect way to restart your old school journey. Fresh Start Worlds offers the opportunity to start from scratch with thousands of other players by your side. This is available for free to play and members, so there's literally no reason not to try it. And after you find your love for the game or rekindle it, after the 6 months, your progress will automatically transfer to the main game with all your goodies, items, quest points, skill levels, the entire kitchen sink. Old School RuneScape's Fresh Start Worlds are open now, so make sure you use the links in the pinned comment or description and get started today on this classic. There's American flag halfway torn down, but not completely. With the success of this mission, there is still hope for New York, and it shows with this flag. The achievement is called Too Big to Fail, a phrase which was coined when discussing economic corporations that if they were to go under, there would be massive repercussions everywhere. It lends to us saving the stock exchange and, in effect, New York.
Where's our infill point? Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. I thought it collapsed. It did.
That sent some chills down my spine. Modern Warfare 3 brings to life one of my biggest fears. What? That World War 3 happened? Nah, that's light work. No, it's the fear that every time I've traveled this tunnel, I can't help but think about it collapsing. Sledgehammer just couldn't help putting their studio name in the game, could they? I don't blame them though. Working on history's most popular game franchise is exciting. Which brings me to an interesting conversation. In an interview, Infinity Ward was asked about the pressures of creating sequels to the world's most popular game, and their response got me thinking. We often shit on COD for being samey over the many years, but there is a very, very large demographic that they are now expected to please. Between publishers, funding, and the player demand, I'm sure the devs feel, and there is, a stranglehold on how creative they can get with their titles, thus having safe games that will make a return and profit. Am I excusing the more lifeless COD games? No, but I'm looking to understand them more. Like with Modern Warfare 3, it was vastly disliked on launch by players for having too many similarities to Modern Warfare 2. But the way I remember Modern Warfare 3 was the new strike packages, tighter gunplay, better balancing, and then the host of really fun new game modes. Anybody else remember Infected? All the little rat spots that were there and best to hold out on? Or my main favorite, Face Off. Damn, did I put a lot of hours in Face Off. Alright, Sandman.
Good work, team. That's one for the books.
Easy day, Overlord.
Easy day. Alright, Sandman. Oh, how cool is that? We don't get the entire Task Force logo with soap in this condition. Task Force 1-1-for-1 isn't 1-for-1 without him. Persona non grata is Italian for an unwelcome person, which is a state of diplomacy that restricts one's entry to a country or city. I think it is easy to say that the disavowed are not welcome in India.
Do whatever this man says!
Short and to the point. It's Captain freaking Price. He could tell me to eat glass and I'd do it.
Yuri, take position on the balcony! We need to buy the doctor some time!
Again, get yourself a friendship like Price and Soap, doing the absolute most to save his brother. I know people that would sell me out for a chocolate bar. Something in Modern Warfare 3 does really well is focus on the world part of World War 3, having us fight in all sorts of locations. New York, France, England, Germany, all with their own distinct architecture that they house, the different feels and locations local residents might even recognize. Can't beat the power of fantasy of a COD game. Especially when you've for once got the AI behaving smart and running away from a losing fight.
There he is! There's Yuri!
Good, we'll need him. We're going off to Makarov.
Who the bloody hell's Yuri?
Yeah, Soap's alive with a cute little quip to boot. None of these aliases are explained right away and left for us to piece together.
Vasily's waiting for you, father.
Vasily? Oh no, last time I dealt with a Vasily, he was actually a vampire. If you know, you know. Seeing that flag makes me wonder if it's the same one that was planted on top of the Reichstag building in World at War, since technically Black Ops and Modern Warfare games are canon with each other.
Mr. President, now is not the time to appease our enemies. We destroy our enemies when we make friends with them.
A remix of the phrase Abraham Lincoln once said, "Am I not destroying my enemies when I make friends of them?" This is what I live for in a COD campaign. New, fun, different scenarios to shoot my enemies in. I know we're playing as him, but in canon, Harkov is a badass for still fighting back during Zero-G. This mission feels like what Infinity Ward has truly wanted to do since they've created Mile High Club back in COD 4. This is some Final Destination horror type shit, and it's such a yes, mom. For a Planecrafts where it literally rips in half, there's a lot of survivors. Russians really are just built different. You know I gotta win the quotes we get on death. Wait, what? Objective failed. Oh. Oops. Love seeing me some task failed successfully in my video games. Also call back to Alan. In the pre-mission cutscene, we are shown a question mark over Kharkov about being a possible inside man. Either way you slice it, good callback. And dope-ass reveal. Since we out here kinslaying, it's smart to put our baddies in black and us in white to keep the distinction clear.
You're insane.
Russia will take all of Europe, even if it must stand upon a pile of ashes.
I think him and a certain Targaryen might get along.
I want the launch codes, Mr. President.
Never get them.
Though he's a maniac killer, he still respects Foreshadowing's station. Beep Kravchenko up there at Makarov's web.
So, try not to die this time.
For real though, I was gonna make my own joke about it because the dude can't catch a break in these games.
Light them up before they light him up.
Does Price have a morbid sense of humor or what? Obligatory COD stealth mission followed by a win. Yuri's one hard motherfucker, just holding the dog's jaw while shooting up a storm. Check out the hat on this UAV. It's Leet. Leet speak. You get me? You follow? You guys remember that? Ugh, those were some cringy days. Really digging the mission titles in this game. Even the very simple ones like this. The oh-so-meme Mind the Gap you'll hear all over the London tube.
Alright, mate. Let's do this.
Seared into my brain from too many search and destroy matches.
Watch your fire! Civics up ahead!
Constantly in Modern Warfare do we get callouts for civilians. Just a nice touch so our boys do actually care about casualties. Under different contexts, this could be seen as hilarious from their POV. Just minding their own business and the train passes through, and then some hooligans chase it for whatever reason. And to the people that were mad about the World War II train destruction sequence, this one is just as lengthy and what COD is all about, so I don't understand. I like this. This isn't just straight up killing all the damn time in war. Don't mind me, though. Games cultivate kids to shoot people. No, they don't. No, stop. No, get rid of that. So this scene is hard to watch, just like No Russian, and caught similar flack due to the similarities of the July 7th bombing of 2005 in London. It's good that COD doesn't shy away from these kinds of scenes, as war is never pretty, and scenes like this help ground us after a fun tube firefight. That it's not to be glamorized.
It's being called the worst terror event in history.
Leave it to Makarov to do something like this. And then add on chemical agents. The Geneva Convention is quivering right now. Low-key though, this is like a World War III version of the Normandy beach landings. And whoever said Modern Warfare 3 does nothing new is straight up silly Billy. The garage takeover is super cool, especially the construction realistically not being able to handle the tank's weight. We've always got the two stories in Modern Warfare games. The main army, and then 141. We always get the big Hollywood battles with one, and then the smaller scale special assignments with the other. It's a simple distinction that I've always loved in the Modern Warfare trilogy.
Mac, it's John.
Woo! Macmillan Reunion. Infinity Ward really brought the whole kitchen sink for their final chapters.
We'll stick out like bollocks on a bulldog.
Bollocks on a bulldog. Now that's great.
Nikolai! Suffer up!
Nikolai was the best friend they ever decided to save. Homeboy is just as loyal and a part of the crew as Soap and Price are. Price remembering that it's faster to switch to his pistol than reloading. You'll notice that Shadow Company's emblem on these crates. Even after his death, Shepard is still being a menace.
Look familiar.
Ooh, some poetic justice for Europe.
This is for the boys at Hereford.
There's the real justice, though. The sandstorm is fun as hell and can be kind of rough to traverse. You can see me even get turned around in this footage. Not gonna lie though, just shooting the lights was 10 times easier than actually fighting them normally. But it also makes for a great visual. Oh, nice. We get the Spencenaz victory theme singing out for Yuri in the 1-for-1 after a job decently well done. Seeing these types of locations is way more interesting than some random semi-mountainous fighting arena or faceless city that has no roots in real life. Whoa, pre-rendered cutscene. Seeing this in a COD game at this point is like seeing EA do pro-consumer microtransactions. Boy, did those stairs come in clutch. Iron Lady is the nickname for the Eiffel Tower. Ah, the good old Angel of Death. Never gets old piloting these in the Modern Warfare title. It's really cool seeing the contrast how it was used in the first game with the smaller scale extraction versus an all-out war in Paris. The former being much more calculated and having more time to consider and communicate, and here we just use the streets as a canvas and our guns as a paintbrush. Same gameplay, entirely different feel. To shake things up from the last time we did this, we bounced back and forth between fighting on the ground and air. Before there was a large disconnect with how real the people down below felt to the AC-130 pilots. But Modern Warfare 3 allows the opportunity to see both sides and truly understand how life-saving our efforts in the sky are.
Overlord, Bomb Run is going to level everything in that area. Requested clearance. Do whatever you have to get those men back home.
Iconic landmarks like these are very important to preserving wars for morale's sake. Receiving clearance to level it really highlights the desperation behind finding Makarov. It's a nice expectation subversion too, having it be the Allied forces that level the Eiffel Tower and not the enemy. Damn, does Brian Taylor do a great job with this score. The music feels like it's trying so hard to be heroic, but is faltering over the loss of such an important symbol.
Makarov's council all together in the middle of a war zone. Sounds convenient. Overconfidence makes you careless.
Oh, the irony. Call back to Soap smoking a cigar on our right. Yo, Kamarov! Last we saw you were helping us take Zaki. Coming back in for assistance with Mackie. Even if you are completely useless.
Said this area be clear.
Throws doubt on Kamarov's allegiance, but more so foreshadowing towards Makarov's treachery! In love with the neat little dual sights introduced in Modern Warfare 3. Makes snipers feel a bit more wieldy in close quarters. Getting big Vendetta vibes from this crawl. Yeah, Soap's a cool guy. He can slide across a car hood.
Which vehicle will he be in?
The council will rotate for security. We won't know until he steps out.
Yuri stands out among our Modern Warfare protagonists, being the only character that we play as, who actually speaks throughout the campaign. Does a lot more for me caring about him playing as him.
What do you say?
Bugger all, mate. Looks like Makarov's late for his own funeral.
Soap does not miss with his one-liners. I can appreciate the attempt for our characters to have some muzzle discipline, something sorely lacking in these games.
Sorry, Price.
Captain Price. Ад ждет тебя.
Which translates to hell awaits you. Call back to their conversation in the Boneyard in Modern Warfare 2. Even after falling from a church and being heavily wounded, Soap is trying to be a soldier and understand the situation and fight back.
Just patch me up. It's not safe here.
How nice of Price to hand off his gun so we get to have some fun shooting some fools. I'm sure when all of you saw that, like me, you went, Oh no. While going, you'll notice Soap's legs get more and more noodly as we go on, and it's hard to watch.
Not now, son. Just rest. Get a medic! Come on, stay with me, son.
Didn't matter what happened. Jesus himself could have entered that room, but with this beautifully haunting music, I knew Soap was a goner. Using his dying breath to help his brethren.
Oh no, 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 no! Soap! No, no, no! Soap!
I'm not crying. You are. Easily the most emotional moment in all of Call of Duty. Mason is close in Black Ops 2. And Makarov made it personal for us. We knew Soap. He was our beautiful Scottish boy, and he took him from us. Placing the pistol, these two men have passed back and forth from each other for one last time. Price snags Soap's journal that you can actually read if you purchase the hardened edition of the game, and the final entry in it is a poem that Price wrote, and a meme was born.
Soap trusted you. I thought I could too. So why in bloody hell does Makarov know you?
And another one. Price got some bars, no? In the remasters of both Modern Warfare 1 and 2, Yuri has been placed in both No Russian and all Ghillie Dub, along with Makarov in the latter. And what a twist having Yuri at all the biggest moments of each game. He wasn't some faceless guy we needed as an avatar. He's a whole-ass dude who's closer to this than any other man in the game. Really cool match cut from a life-saving device to a life-taking one. The 1-for-1 emblem isn't shot with quick cuts to emphasize the badass task force. Just a slow fade in with it dropping from sight, just like how one of our friends just dropped from our lives.
We try to honor their deeds, even as their faces fade from our memory. Those memories are all that's left when the bastards have taken everything else.
Oh, my heart, Price. Why does this man always know what to say?
He killed Soap. He's gone, Mac.
What do you need from me, son?
Oh, I love these two. Seeing Price emotionally vulnerable for a change does wonders for his character. And Matt calling him son? Ugh!
What you plan on doing?
What you taught me to do. Kill them all.
Price!
Keep up or I'll leave you behind.
Love that Price doesn't peachy with Yuri straight away. Or ever again for that matter. His connection to Makarov 100% should have been brought up ASAP, so I don't blame him one bit. You go, Price. Realizing how long it will take for the sound to travel after seeing the light. There is a certain novelty about sneaking and fighting around a medieval castle using modern-day weaponry and techniques that I just love. Mac was right about flying. And out. Red Bull would love these guys. The classic in media res start. Moving through this down building only could have been better if we fought in it.
Metal 01 ISR shows they're extracting the girl now. Advise you stand down and head to an alternate LZ.
No, we can make it!
Just like Foley, I love how sure of himself Salmon is and rejects orders from command at the possible cost of hitting his teammates' lives just to get the job done. Two badasses getting to be badasses together is just badass. Easily the best breach in the series. Self-sacrifice. Group sacrifice? Oh, yeah. The 1-for-1 is reinstated and we're finally playing as Price?
This is it. Makarov doesn't leave here alive.
This marks the first time we play a character who speaks while we play as them in a Modern Warfare game.
This is for Soap.
The ending mission for this trilogy is so much better than I anticipated. It's not a grand finale with a chase sequence down rapids or sopping nukes going off. The war is over, and it's just the will of two men needing their vengeance for what Makarov has done to them. I love the smaller, more intimate scale of it. Plus, just walking into gunfire in the jug suit is just hardcore.
Our armor shredded!
They couldn't have had us be invincible the entire time, so a good way to have us remove the armor. No given if he lives or dies. A straight up hero moment for the good old captain. It's a slight bookend, shattered glass falling 1-for-1 in the opening cutscene, and now Price looking at himself reflected in shattered glass. The music comes in like Makarov is some villain in a B-level horror film. Visual callback to Price aiming at Yuri, and also to COD 4's iconic shot with Al-Assad.
Goodbye, Captain Price.
Woo! Yuri coming in with the save, and gets to have a sliver of catharsis making God bleed. Ingenuity. Who else also thought Makarov was going to get us and survive this fall? After all the conflict and all the fighting, it's a sobering moment to see Makarov there. It's a big, what now feeling. It's over, and Price does the best thing one can do at this moment. Once again, the score is amazing, heroic and sober all at the same time. Though we won, it hardly feels like it after all we've lost, and the music reflects that. Also, love that it takes a while to receive the objective completed text, giving us a moment to sit with the ending, sit with Price. And Price smokes one up for us one last time. I really love the way Modern Warfare 3 ended. Similar to Modern Warfare 2, having a very personal fight between Price and our baddies. Through all of its perceived faults, I really enjoyed Modern Warfare 3, and I'm happy that we've got a complete trilogy that we can always come back to, play, and feel satisfied with. This trilogy definitely marked the golden age for COD, and also the waning of its reign. I'm just happy to have been a part of it while it lasted, and now get to look back fondly at it with all of you. Modern Warfare 3 was for sure more of a spectacle story than its predecessors, hence the link to this video. But for wrapping up the story and having one last hurrah before moving on from the series, I think that was the perfect way to have the story. And I mean, it was World War III for Christ's sake, so spectacle was basically promised, and I don't mind it being more light on the story and theme elements because of this. What did you all think of Modern Warfare 3? Let me know some of your favorite memories with this game, and ride the nostalgia wave with me. And remember, drive the speed limit, drink some water, and love one another. Pizza!